This here is Nick. No big deal. No big deal, baby. Now he's going to teach us about what a gully is. Gully. He calls them coolies. He's a fool. Okay, let's stop here. This is great evidence here. Look at the columns here and all these buildings. These are buildings melting from the bottom up, melting from the bottom up, rubble coming down off these buildings, melting down into said water feature here, man-made water feature here. And we have buildings made of red bricks, heat coming from the bottom up, scoring out these columns, melting them into one solid mass, but bricks are still distinguishable here and here and here, where I am circling. Here we have Nick, and here we have melted buildings in the background. This is great evidence. Look at the buildings here. These buildings around this water feature here. And this is great evidence. They're melted down like ice cream here. Look at the columns, look at the melt, and the flow here, and the pile of flow. The flow coming down the buildings, the heat coming from the bottom up. And let's continue on, Nick.
Hello, young people.
Stop right there. This is a building. We have floors here, equidistant, equal floors, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. They are all the same size here. Give me a break. This does not happen because of ice ages. This does not happen because of ice age waters. Okay, give me a break. You got melt behind you. Let's move on.
Coolies. What is a
Gullies? Gullies.
Coulee?
Gully.
Coolies are very
Gullies.
unusual valleys. Their shapes are unusual. Valleys around the world are V-shaped.
Great evidence here. Look at the buildings here. These buildings here, and they are melting down, slumping over, actually at a leaning angle here. And these buildings have completely melted down. And the water feature at the bottom still here holding its integrity very well. Hello, Lila. And likely this railroad here, a part of the system as well, the original system as well. Hello. Oh, that's a baby.
With rivers carving slowly through time.
Black-eyed Susan's here.
U-shaped valleys around.
This is great evidence, Nick. Look at the buildings here and the cascading rubble, the melt flow coming down this valley and all this rubble. It's still coming down today. It still cascades down. This rubble comes down off of these buildings today. It's dangerous down here because this is destruction. This is destruction. This is great evidence. These are melted buildings. Let's continue on.
Around the
Nick.
world. Alpine glacial ice flowing out of mountains and carving the landscape.
Give me a break. Here we go. Now we're on to what we're talking about here in the video. Nick, gullies. Gullies. Moses Gully. Isn't that interesting? Moses Gully here in Washington. Now these are buildings. This is great evidence. Look at the flow coming off these buildings, baby. The melt flow coming off of these buildings and pooling up here at the base of the buildings. These are melted buildings. Each one here easily distinguishable from the next, and they are all melted together in one chunk here. They were red bricks. They are now brown, ashen brown and gray. And look at the melt flow here coming off of these buildings. Can you see the flow coming off these buildings? This is flow. Okay, it's not from wind. It's not from wind blowing against the rocks, knocking them off and sailing down the hillside here. No, this is melt flow. Wind does not knock off stones and erode stones and send it down the hillside. It does not do that. Wind does not send masonry down building sides. And we have apertures and openings here, apertures and openings into the building. The windows and the window panes were open during the time of said event. Obviously, they're still open. Doorways still open. Doors wide open still in these buildings. Give me a break. Let's move on, Nick.
But these coolies are very different.
Gullies. Gullies.
They are box-shaped valleys with flat valley floors, vertical walls, and no rivers flowing through the bottom of the valley.
Excuse me, I'll put a lid on it here, but just give me a break, Nick.
Valley floors, vertical walls, and no rivers flowing through the bottom of the valleys. Ice Age floods between.
Great evidence. Look at the buildings down here and the rubble coming off of these buildings, these enormous buildings here with a flat roof. And we have melt flow, again, coming off of these buildings and pooling up at the base of the buildings here. This is great evidence. Again, thank you, Nick, for the evidence.
Between 28,000 and 14,000 years ago, took
There's
lots of bedrock.
There's some fun here and a little parachute here. Look at this joke.
Rock away.
Yeah, that's right.
Leaving these box-shaped valleys known as coulees.
Look at the bow tie. Isn't that cute? And like, look at the buildings back here and the floors. These are floors. You think nature is carving out equidistant floors and apertures in these buildings like this? With little domes and towers and such? Hello, baby. Oh, you're screaming. You're a brat. I told you just to wait half hour. How can I, when you talk over me? You talk over me. Yes, you do. You talk over me and I can't talk. Oh, that's silly. Okay, so, anywho, look at the bow tie. It's ridiculous. These guys are making jokes of us here. And it gets more rich. You better believe it.
There's a lot of rock missing here. That's the Coulee. Did the
No, there's not. That's the gully, and the material that you think is missing, said material, is right here at the base of the building. It's come melting down the building right here. There it is. There's no material missing here. There's no material missing. It's all right here at the base of the building, baby, with your bow tie, with your cute bow tie. This is how evil smiles. This is how evil smiles. Your little butt chin. Give me a break.
Ice Age floods really take all that rock away? They did. The bedrock
They did not. They did not. Move on, Nick.
is the key.
I'm having fun here. Little expensive toys.
So why did the Ice Age floods dig into the bedrock and haul so much rock away? Why didn't the water just skim over the top of the bedrock?
Again? Why don't we?
So why did the Ice Age floods dig into the bedrock and haul so much rock away? Why didn't the water just skim over the top of the bedrock?
You're a turkey. You're a turkey. I said just wait, and you wait 1 minute and you come back. Go in the sunroom. Go in this, and go say hello to Chipper. Go say hello to Chipper. Please, would you go and come back in 10 minutes? I'll be done in 10 minutes. Less. I'll be done in less.
The answer is looking at the structure in the bedrock.
That's the key word right there. Looking at the structure in the said bedrock. The structure. So he knows what he's talking about here with this bow tie. He knows what he's talking about here with his bow tie. Give me a break. He knows what these are. He just called them column. Or no, he did not call them columns. He will acknowledge that these are columns. Okay, let's move on here.
You see this climber right over here? This guy's climbing right up a beautiful column. With
Again? Why don't we?
the answer is looking at the structure in the bedrock. You see this climber right over here? This guy's climbing right up a beautiful column.
This is how evil smiles. This is how evil smiles here with his bow tie. Move on, Nick.
With cracks between the columns.
Those are mortar lines, brick lines. This is great evidence here, by the way. Look at the melt here, the columns. He called them columns. He called them columns himself. And we have a climber up here doing some dangerous activities here on a dangerous destroyed building. That is not safe. That is, but they will do what they do. For what reasons? I know not.
This is basalt, a lava flow rock.
No, this is brick melt flow, my friend. And you know what? You're not being so friendly, eh? I'm trying to be your friend. And you're not being so friendly here, eh? No, you are not.
That came in one lava flow at a time.
Oh, one lava flow at a time? For fuck's sake. Well, that answers everything. Look at the bricks here sticking out, mangled out, churning up, turning around, expanding out. Brick expansion, baby. Brick motherfucking expansion, baby. You love the terms. Brick motherfucking expansion, baby. That's what this is. That's what this is, not basalt columns. This is brick motherfucking expansion, baby. Look at the bricks here with the mortar between still. And brick motherfucking expansion, baby. How about that?
When the lava cooled, it cracked. Vertical fractures and
Yeah, yeah,
horizontal.
yeah, yeah, that happened. Yeah, it cracked. You better believe it cracked. But not because of volcano pressure, baby. Not because of ice age pressure, baby. Ice pressure and volcanic pressure. Give me a break. That's ridiculous.
Fractures. Some layers more stubborn to erosion.
Yeah, you and your volcano layers. Get on with it.
One, haul them off. The
Yeah, let's hear that.
columns one by one. So let's
Let's,
bring the Ice Age floods in. Pick up columns one by one. Haul them.
wait a second here. Let me just start that over again. That's important. That's very important. Very important.
Age floods in. Age floods in. So let's bring the Ice Age floods in. Pick up columns one by one. Haul them off.
Now, have you ever seen water haul anything off? Have you ever seen, I mean, besides a log or something hollow with air inside, have you ever seen a dense, have you ever seen even a grain of sand, a granule of sand that wasn't disturbed, getting picked up off the riverbed and traveling along? I hardly ever see that. And we're talking basalt columns here, brick columns being hauled off by the waters, eh? Okay, sure, yeah, sure, the car can float when it floods, and the car might get carried off and down the street and all that, and it's mayhem, right? But what happens shortly thereafter? The car gets caught on something. Yes, it does. It gets caught on something. And why'd the car float? Because there was air in it. Is there air in brick columns? Is there air in basalt, quote unquote, columns? No, there's not. So how do they float? How do they get picked up, baby? You explain that. I don't care how much water it was. I don't care how much water it was. How the columns get picked up like feathers and floated downriver?
The
Yeah,
bedrock
that's
is
right, Lila.
pre-cut
I
and
don't know
ready to be
either.
hauled off by the floods. Coulees of central Washington
By
and
the
ready
way,
to be
you see the
hauled off.
buildings back here? Did you see the building with the melt flow coming off of these, flowing down, flowing off of every one of these buildings? A flow coming off of every one of these buildings, and they're all perfect structure. Look at the right angles here. What a joke. Look at the flat roof. What a joke. Look at this building here. This is a building. This is a building here. This is a building here. It's all melt. It's all melted down like a big pile of soup. With their little fancy toys out here. Checking out the melt, eh?
Off by the floods. Coulees of central Washington. It's all out.
Gullies. Gullies. Look at the buildings here. Look at these equidistant floors all the way through every building. Every floor the same and every building here. Give me a break. We got apertures and openings in all these buildings here. I see openings, apertures, windows still open with the window pane still wide open. And give me a break, Mr. Nick. Mr. Nick, give me a break. These walls right here with these bricks and these structures out here. And you know what these are because you were mocking us. You see that climber right there climbing up that column? Yeah, fuck off, geologists. I love you all. I love all of you. I even love you, Nick. How about that? I love you, Nick. I do. I actually do. And I hope the best for you. And yeah, change the tie. That might help you. Start there. I love you all. Take care.